Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Hospitality Marketing, show number 541. I am your host, Lauren Gray. Thank you so much for joining us. Wow, full tilt holidays, week before Christmas, Hanukkah is going on. Lots of things that are happening, so forth. We talk about the epitome of fourth quarter. By the way, we're taking some casual time traveling. We're actually Treasure Island, Florida, and rocking my hospitality radio t-shirt while here, but it's the logoed version of myself today. But we're in the middle of this amazing time of holiday. And of course, we've had our Black Friday, we've had our Cyber Monday, which are usually huge benchmarks. This year, uniquely different. We've talked about it in the show where there was this, I don't know whether it's a lack of clarity or my personal perspective of it. And I wasn't alone in this when I talked to the hospitality marketing group. We didn't know if the doorbuster deals that are being offered even as early as September were going to be the best deal available, or was there a mic drop for Black Friday? And what we found was a lot of the retail, inspired from a lot of the circumstances going on this year when it comes to the tariffs and pre-purchases and heavy inventory early and so forth, and the attempt to make sure that we garnered what was the perceived earliest best prices in case prices went up because there was a need for purchasing more inventory and the tariffs would have an impact on those prices. We thought that there might have been a different pricing model on the day of Black Friday. What we saw was very few places actually a better deal on the things that they had been offering as Black Friday deals up to Black Friday and Cyber Monday, with a few exceptions to it. They try to offer one-day only deals or or other items that weren't as heavily discounted up to that moment. What I'm bringing up to is fourth quarter is a magical time, not just for retail. As hospitality people and marketing, this is the time, full tilt gift cards, value proposition for what we offer, unique gift value for what you can get by selling future value of coming to our properties or enjoying our amenities, our spas, golfing, restaurant discounts, restaurant coupons, restaurant gift cards. This is the time of year to really make hay with all of that. And it was funny, I had forgotten a long ago term, which is the topic of our show today. And I'm going to keep the show relatively brief, considering one, everybody's into full tilt mode of tomorrow's Friday. Today's Friday. Hey, days go off. This is now the launch of people trying to take the holiday period off. If they can take any affordable days around Christmas and travel, this is what they're going to do. They're going to get to their destinations, much like Thanksgiving, only less condensed. For those, maybe all through all of next week, there's going to be persistent travel, huge amounts of travel, driving traffic, massive numbers, record numbers again is what they're forecasting, AAA for driving, of course, airlift and so forth. And so we're going to show a little shorter just because maybe we're catching you where you're listening to us live while you're in the airport, or better yet, you pull up the recording and play back at a different time. We always say, as I said, simulcast this Wednesdays, 11:30 a.m. London and Sydney time for the time zones affected. We're in 209 countries, so we have a lot of people traveling all over the world at this point. All of that, going back to the topic. So in the dialogue, somebody brought up an old term I had forgotten about, but actually have perpetually worked through and kept doing, and that was the fifth quarter. If you're unfamiliar with the term, or maybe like me, you forgot its usage over time, I always thought it was a unique perspective, and we actually tailored our marketing associated with the concept of fifth quarter. So topically, today's show is about the fifth quarter with a bit of a new twist. And the twist being a little bit more of a discussion as to where we are now in fourth quarter compared to the traditional fifth quarter concept. Fifth quarter concept, if you're not familiar with fifth quarter was a marketing referral to the time just after, starting on Black Friday, forward through the first 2 weeks really of January. This time gap between Black Friday and mid-January was a unique time because it was changing from the gift-giving process that starts at Black Friday, Cyber Monday, holiday period, pre-Christmas, through to a transition of demand where people are looking more self-centrically. self-gifting, resolutions, January, early year sales, beginning of the year, new me, new you, new year purchases. Retail has its own components as to when it offers things between furniture and bedding and technology and so forth. We all know those cycles, but for us as hospitality professionals and marketers, it's a unique opportunity to hone in on that transition of purchase interest. And especially now, because we're right now, most holiday purchases have reached their arc and have passed that peak. They're still actively going on. Make no mistake about it. There's always the late people. Those that are still striving to find a gift, those that are still yet to make a choice for a gift, whatever it may be. But most of the focus I mentioned is about getting to your destination or getting to the holiday. Most of the meaningful purchases have happened. What's left now is gift cards, usually, the undetermined purchases that you need to get something for someone. Don't know them well enough, or you only know certain aspects about them that you can say, well, I know they like these hotels, or I know they like spas, or I know they like golfing, or they like these destinations, or things like this, and they can get gift cards for them, which is right in our lane when it comes to opportunities for us as hoteliers. But really what I would like to say is this is when people begin to broaden their perspective of purchases, retail being a strong part of it, but us in hospitality also, where it's more to their self-gifting. What do I gift? One of the big things we talk about when we talk about gifts, card sales, and so forth was the ability to offer double value, because you're really getting two new audiences when it comes to gift card purchases. You get the person that purchased the gift card, you have them as an audience, and you have the people that they're purchasing gift cards for, which is the new audience or the expanded audience. And if you can reward both, like buy a $100 gift card, get a $150 gift card, or two gift cards, $100 and $150, keep one, give the other. Now you're splitting up the value. Plus you have a defined audience that you're talking to. You have the capability of giving incentive values associated with the transfer value of the gift card itself. Like, hey, for these certain dates, you can add extra 20% value to them, so forth and so on. There's a whole world of opportunities when it comes to gift cards and gift card marketing once you have that defined audience. This is the time of year when this really begins to kick in. This time just before Christmas, depending upon how Hanukkah lands, that you have this amazing duality of buying gifts still, mostly for people that gift cards are a more meaningful fit, and self-gifting, where, you know what, I love going to this place. I see they got an offer going for me. Oh, let me get that for myself. I'm looking for it. Next year, you know what? I'm going to get it so I have something to look forward to for next year, blah, 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 blah. Opportunity is a big driver for that, obviously. One of the big opportunities to consider for right now is most structured fourth quarter sales campaigns wind down right about now, the week within going to Christmas. And the reason for that is we get so fixated with holidays. We've talked about it on the show. We get so fixated with holidays that we don't see past the holiday until after the holiday has passed. We're very much about getting to the holiday. The holiday is the focal point. When it comes to purchases and looking at opportunities, there is this idea, kind of like I was talking about the Black Friday doorbuster deals that started in September, of perspective of what good values are out there for me? What good values should I be considering while everybody's trying to get my attention to purchase stuff, which is what most people's mindsets are right now at this time of year prior to Christmas. Also knowing that this is the lead time where people are looking not just to themselves, as we just mentioned, but also it is going to go a new year. We know how fast this process goes. You get into Christmas, boom, all of a sudden now you're jumping right towards what's going to happen for New Year's. There's a week gap for that to happen, boom, and then you shot into the next year. Because of that compression of time, people are thinking more value propositions of wild offers and things, because they feel like everybody after Christmas pretty much stops giving the pitch deals. Yes, we go into the cyclic retail discounts of when to buy bedding, sheets, white sales, TVs for Super Bowl, so forth. But there's the idea that generalized offers are now at their peak for consideration. So with that in mind, Self-gifting is a thing. New Year's resolutions. This next year, I'm going to stop worrying about the world as much. I'm going to get back to being happy, doing things that are enjoyable, balancing out whatever, and so forth and so on. New Year's resolutions. You also look at the fact that with new year, new you, as we all know in our own industry, with new year comes new budgets. So we have shiny new budgets that we have to approach and deal with and so forth and so on. Well, everybody has that transitional annual process mentally as well. New year, I have things to look at. Maybe there's a new resolution for travel. Maybe there's a new resolution to experience more things. There's so many things that affect people's process at this time of year from one year to the next. That it's a unique opportunity. And like I mentioned before, a lot of traditional structured competitive advertisement tends to begin to slow down, suspend, or diminish itself right about now prior to the holiday of Christmas, thinking that their exposure is at their max. There's no need to continue driving the nail home. People understand what you're pitching, and most people are now fixated on the process of enjoying the holiday, not so much the purchasing for the holiday. And as true as that is, it opens open a huge door of opportunity where you can kind of amplify your marketing message at a more affordable value because your competitors are spending less to do the same. So thinking of it from that perspective, Now, you can get a little bit more granular with some of the ideas that you're doing as to what you want to feature. We know historically you will see a onslaught of health fitness membership offers come the change of the year because of the New Year's resolution, new healthier me, new you, whatever. And everybody makes the commitment, I'm going to do something about it this year. Oh, well and good. There's also pragmatic people that say, look, I can pick that up any day I want to, and I haven't, or I will, or I whatever. The change of the year isn't as a key pivotal point for me, but I do want to do those things better. So because it's a heightened awareness, things like your spa services, should you have one, things like your menu as to what unique things are about it from a healthy perspective or for people that enjoy it, the things that are events that are driven around your property where there's maybe 5Ks or runs or events that are for health and fitness that you might want to be highlighting is like before the rush goes on for XYZ in spring, book now. We have the best deal for this time sequence. Offer a specific window of value at this time while people are thinking about, you know what, I want to do that mountain run, or I want to do that bike ride, I want to do that marathon, I want to do the 5K, such and such in XYZ town, ABC city. This is the time for you to target those people early and it not seem odd that you're isolating their targeting about health things when people are thinking about health things because of the transition of the year. It makes it a unique time to really open up and consider what options do you have? What are ways that you can take the topic and the information that you have? Now, a couple of things not to forget in any major sense right now is the huge excuse, the huge ability to communicate with your guests for no reason other than to wish them happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all of the above, singularly, whatever. The ability to reach out to them where it doesn't seem odd. If anything you can do, if anything you get out of the show today, take your CRM database of everybody, including the zombie list of people that have never answered or engaged with you for anything. Make a wonderful card thanking them for their previous patronage, wishing them the happiest of holidays and the freshness of the new year, whatever way you want to do it. Soft and sappy, cute and too whimsical, personalized, whatever. Personalized is always good, by the way. And get the message out as an excuse. Don't tether it to a pitch offer. Don't cheapen the effort. Don't go over and say, and by the way, if you're interested, we got these discounts. They know how to find you. They just don't remember you. And you really, at this juncture, was able to put yourself in front of them with them. Like, oh man, I remember that place. Yeah, you know what? Let's see what's going on with them. Maybe there's an offer. Maybe there's something good. I mean, they just reached out to us, which is Happy New Year. I'm sure they got something going on. They know we're a business. They know we want to do more business. The reason why we're sending them a Christmas card or a Hanukkah card or a New Year's card is because we remind them we want to do more business with them. It's kind of the elephant in the room knowledge. Use that as a great opportunity. One, it's a genuine good CRM relationship to keep that dialogue with your guests. Really, I mean, you should already be doing this. I shouldn't be the one telling you to do this. You should already be doing this. But if you haven't, and if you are, be mindful to be consistent across the board. Make sure you reach out to everyone. This is the one few time I will actually say use all lists, because this is the chance to wish everyone a happy holiday. I have Merry New Year, reverse, whichever way you want to. Without it being out of the bluish, off tempo, tone deaf, having a business wish you happy birthday without giving you something, that seems odd. Like, why you wish me a happy birthday without giving me a little birthday present? Holidays, this kind of way of communicating, you don't have to. You can say, we do have values of things we'd like to share with you as a previous guest. Should you be interested? Here's the action. But don't do the rate and date stuff in the program. Don't make it an ad wrapped up in some pseudo wishing you holidays. By the way, here's our latest deal. Don't do that. But if you do want to make sure that we have a thank you gift kind of thing, in certain circumstances, and depending upon the list that you're doing, even though you're saying it to everyone, there are certain people you probably want to do that for, and others you just want to remind them that you're there. These are the value propositions that you should consider this time of year. That fifth quarter, I had forgotten the term for so long, although it's always been in the back of my mind of how I operate through it. People go over and I think on last week's show, I talked about the fact that the seasons go one of two ways about this time of year. Everybody's either frantically trying to shoehorn the rest of what they can do in the year before holidays kick in, which drives you crazy with the level of work that you're doing. Or everybody just wants to get out of town as fast as possible and quietly wait until next year starts to tackle the world's problems again. This is one of those things that transitionally should always happen. You should always evaluate from Black Friday through mid-January, the transition of the buying cycle of people from being gift giving to maybe self-gifting, to transitions of the year, resolutions, interest for the following year, things to consider in your process of how you plan your strategy. There are opportunities against your comp set to gather ground because they tend to slack off. They don't think like that. A lot of people don't. And it gives you a chance to communicate with your guests with the wonderful rationale of holidays and well wishes. And it gives you the chance to be very myopic in the things that you want to talk about as they relate to the transitions of the year of health and fitness and discovery and play off the idea your resolution is to travel. We're your partner in that discovery. If your resolution is to experience, we're a destination you should consider. On and on. Great things to be able to do for yourself at this time of year. So don't let it slow down. It's hard to keep warm bodies in-house to get this all done. You should have these thoughts already. But if you haven't, sit down for the extra 15 minutes, plot out a quick way of approaching some of these things, at least set up that email I talked about, and get some collaboration of what the fifth quarter means to you for this time of year when it comes to advertising. So, as I said, want to keep it short and sweet today, given the fact that we're probably catching you in transition of one thing to the next. With that being said, from all of us here at HTM, myself in particular, wish all of you the happiest of holidays. We do this show every week. We're well into our 11th year of doing this. And if we always do shows, we never record shows to play weeks down the road or anything like that. So even the day after Christmas, the day after New Year's, we do our show. So you'll see me on next week, talking about kind of an interesting combination of reality versus pitch. We'll do about that. It's going to be a Scroogey thing. But you'll see me next week. But until this will be the last show before Christmas. Until next week, of course, the merriest of Christmases to everyone. Happy Hanukkah to those. And for just this time of year, for all the things, it's good to be mindful of being kind and having a wonderful, wonderful time of year. So happy holidays to everyone. And until next week, my name is Lon Gray. I thank you for the privilege of your time. I look forward to talking to you next week. Happy holidays, everybody.